Yo, welcome to Real Guy Talk Pod, where we talk anime, basketball, video games, music, and we're actually adding something new this week. NFL draft was Thursday, decided we should talk a little bit about it. Don't really have many football fans in here, but, they can learn. Yo, Lou, how you feel about your Patriots, man?
There's always like two ways to build a roster. We just decided to basically pay the offense and just sign a whole bunch of fucking wide receivers and tight ends, and we just drafted defense. We drafted linemen, a safety, a linebacker. I know like Mac Jones is like the big thing, but I don't want to get too much into that. I still have mixed feelings about that. We talked about that. Like, I would settle for Mac Jones, but people tend to forget when the college season ended, Mac Jones is supposed to go like second round, third round. 49ers jumped up and they're like, no, he's like at least the third best player in this draft. And like everyone kind of fell out for Mac Jones. We really only drafted out of Bama and fucking Oklahoma. So it's like, it is what it is. I do like the running back that we got though. He adds kind of more of a power game to kind of the deke and dunk that we like to do. I like the wide receiver, but I think he's going to go to special teams, and he hasn't played any special teams in college. So I don't really know how that's going to work for him. It's all right. I don't mind it. I think our defense definitely needed kind of the boost up. We're in a division with a lot of young quarterbacks. You got Tua. You just got Zach Wilson got drafted in there. And then Josh Allen still, like, probably might own that division for the next couple of years. So we have to boost up that defense quite a bit. So I give it definitely a B+. I did like what we did in the draft, though. I don't know about the safety, though.
How do you think the team's going to do overall?
I think we'll make the playoffs. We'll definitely make the playoffs because there's 17 games now. I think we'll win at least. It might sound crazy, but I think we'll win 11 games. I'm pretty sure we'll go 11-6, if not 10. I'm going over. Fox Bet has us at like 9 or 9.5. But
he don't agree with you.
I definitely think we're gonna have at least a winning record and we'll be in the playoffs.
9-8,
for sure.
Dan says 9-8.
Hell no. Fuck no. How about them Saints though?
I mean, the Saints did what the Saints do. Made an underwhelming draft underwhelming. Like, we needed corner. We lost our corner, Janoris Jenkins. I think he signed with, like, the Titans.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lattimore, our number one corner, is in some trouble with the law. Like, we needed a corner, and we didn't address corner until the third round. We traded up for Paulson and Debo. Now, last year, if he came out, people were like, oh, he would be a top corner, but he has injury history. And it seems like the people that we drafted this year didn't play many games because of injuries. So it's a toss-up. Like, if they stay healthy, maybe it'll be fine. But you're playing 17 games now in the NFL against NFL players. Couldn't stay healthy in college in a shorter season. There's no telling what happens. They could be the best, or they could just, be bums, which kind of leaning more towards that because we have one good draft and everybody thinks so. The Saints are amazing at drafting. We're not the best at drafting. We get lucky a few times. We do. Like 2017 was our best draft. And then we had like Michael Thomas one year. So who knows? Maybe they have figured it out, but I highly doubt it.
You guys drafted QB. Didn't you guys draft a...
Yeah. Ian Book out of Notre Dame. And surprisingly, I watched a good amount of Notre Dame games, and I don't care for Notre Dame, but yeah, bro, we gonna be eating W's, all right? We gonna be eating W's with Jameis Winston. He eating W's. I won't do what he did, but
I hear it.
Yeah, I definitely say we'd probably have more wins than the Patriots this year. Just gonna throw that out there.
Debatable.
Okay. Very debatable.
We're gonna have to put some dew on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to put some dew on that one.
Yeah, I agree because Cam did not look the best last year. I get he had COVID at one point. He dealt with. The Patriots, man. Y'all have fallen off.
Oh boy.
Well, that's
y'all
what
have fallen
you're
off.
on the top of the mountain for 20 years, and
y'all spent mad money though. Like y'all definitely tried to improve that offense.
For the offense because we can't draft offense. We can't draft offense. That's literally the problem. We can't draft or a tight end. We can draft the fucking lineman. We have a phenomenal offensive line, but we can't draft anyone else. We really suck at drafting. And defense. We can draft defense, but fucking ass.
Good question. Who are you guys excited? Which rookie, regardless of teams? Who are you guys excited to see out there?
Justin Fields in Chicago. I really, really want to see what Justin Fields does. Because we've had the conversation. He should have went number 2. We thought he should have went to the Jets. Like, since this kid was 15 years old, he was either the number 1 or number 2 quarterback. Since 15. Like, once it was him and Lawrence. Like, it was known, like, he'll go 1, he'll go 2. Next year comes, oh no, he's going to go 1 and he'll go 2. Next year comes, oh, he's going. They were going neck and neck. And Fields, for whatever reason, dropped to 11th and had to be traded up to go get. Because everyone kind of deemed him not worthy of number 2. It was kind of crazy. Everyone started leapfrogging him, and I don't see why. Because I think he's probably going to have the second best career. And that kind of brings me to Trey Lance. I'll leave that up in the air because that's probably the biggest boom or bust player in the entire fucking draft. Like, this kid can either be fucking amazing or he's going to be really fucking bad. But I want to see him do great.
Right? Because you went Justin Fields. I'm going to the other side, right? Sean Wade, the cornerback.
Yeah.
This man, I was telling Cesar, this man was projected like a 15, like top 15 overall pick last year. And then he was convinced to come back to Ohio State. That man went 160th this year.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine being like, yeah, you're going to be the top 15 pick. That's millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. And then this year, they're like, yeah, you're 5th round, 160th overall.
Maybe
he's got like the biggest chip on his shoulder. If you're projected top 15 and then you go in the hundreds, you got to come out and ball out.
I thought that's somebody you guys would have went and got.
Yeah, I wanted them. I didn't think Dude got drafted because I couldn't find his name. I'm like, why are we not taking him? Like, can we take him? But no, he went to the Ravens. And I was talking to a Ravens fan yesterday. And sure, he might not be like the best corner, but look at who the Ravens have on for their corners. Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey.
You don't have to be number 1.
You don't even have to be number 3 because they have Tavon Young as well, who he's a smaller dude, but you can push for the slot, you can be the number 4. He doesn't have as much pressure as you would think. And I think that he's gonna be probably the steal of the draft if he comes out and shows, hey, should have taken me in the top 15.
I respect that, I do.
Going into the NBA though, if we were to fast forward the next 20 games and say that we're going into the playoffs tomorrow, we got a lot of different teams in the top 4 this year from previous years. How do you feel home court advantage would work this year, especially with like all of the less crowds and smaller arenas? You know what I mean? Like, what do you think, Lou?
So like last year in the East, home court advantage would have been important because the East teams on the road were really, really fucking bad.
Yeah.
Like for example, the Celtics. Like this year, we need home court advantage because we're under 500 on the road. We can't really beat anyone on the road. Like there's teams like the Spurs that are actually better on the road than at home this season. It's kind of weird. It's kind of the way it works. But this year, it's not going to be in the bubble. We're actually going to have you'll be at your home court. You'll know you're in your city instead of having like the decal on the floor and they have the pumped in crowd noise. Like you'll know your fans are there.
Exactly.
You'll see your jersey. You'll see your little, big head and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be important.
It's definitely going to be a lot different this year because especially just with the less population in the crowds. Trey, how do you feel about it?
I'm actually I have a question for you guys actually. So how is it gonna go? Like, who really gets the home court advantage? Is it gonna be like the bubble like last year? How like there really wasn't a home court advantage, or how is it going this year?
No, I think it's gonna be normal playoff thing.
Mm-hmm. Just like less
two
crowd.
games there, 2 games that you travel for 2, and then 1 and 1 if it goes to game 7. You know what I mean? So
I wanted to say it would like kind of be like last year, but because of like the less people in the gym and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Because like when you see the crowd there and you know they're there for you, I feel like that's what makes everybody play better. You know what I'm saying? And now that there's less people, you probably get that feeling that like, you know, you're just there for yourself. You know what I mean? At that point, I think it might kind of still be like a bubble vibe, like everybody's about to go off because you know everybody was going fucking hard in the bubble. You know what I mean? So whoever got home court, I feel like they're just gonna play like they did last year. You know what I mean? I don't think there's really gonna be a difference, honestly. Cesar, how do you feel?
I think I'm opposite of you, Trey. I don't think it's gonna be a bubble feel. I think home court's gonna matter to some of these teams, like Lewis said. Some teams really are horrible in a way, and you know, home court's gonna play big, especially with fans returning and stuff. So there's always that pressure right there. And I'm looking at the conference finals right now, and if the playoffs started tomorrow, I think it would have the Knicks at 4, and that's something that has not been in the playoffs in a really long time. So hopefully, if we fast forward and the standings stay the same, I really want the Knicks to get home. As a Celtics fan, I know we need it, but I want home court Madison Garden vibes with the fans back and everything. I think that's really gonna change everything and how everything goes.
it's all. I feel like it just differentiates because if you're visiting, it's gonna be easier for the visitors. I feel like because home court advantage isn't really gonna matter because whether you're home or not, it's like there's not that many people in the crowd. That when you're visiting and going to someone else's home court, that crowd can be very intimidating, and that can just kill any confidence in the team. But if you're going to a pretty empty stadium with 2,500 people in the crowd versus 10,000 people in the crowd, it's a lot different. Like, they can't make as much noise. I kind of agree with Trey more on the side. Like, it wouldn't really matter. It might kind of be like bubble vibes where people are just gonna pop off. The confidence is gonna be there for both teams. It's just who's gonna want it more.
To add on that, I see where that viewpoint's coming from, but then again, besides that, they're still doing that in the regular season, and these teams are still struggling in away teams. So that pressure's still there, even because they've been bringing back fans. So it's still there. I think it's gonna be amplified in the playoffs because that's when shit matters and you playing for something. So what do you think, Chase, on all this?
The Sixers, Lewis brought up about the Spurs, right? And then you brought up the Knicks, where if the Knicks and Hawks played first round, holy crap, the Knicks are probably going in the second round, right? Or the Hawks are going. When's the last time you've seen one of those two teams in the second round?
But two teams play each other in the
in the playoffs, right?
That is so crazy.
Home court, right? You said the Spurs were you said they were better on the road, right? The Sixers are second in the East, and last time I seen, they were better on the road as well. Like their home record wasn't like negative, but it was like 2 games positive last time I seen. Like it'd been a little bit, but their road games, they were dominating on the road. So for people to be like, oh, home court doesn't matter, like if the Sixers can figure out how to take advantage of their crowd, then they could be the most deadliest team because they have the home court advantage, and then they don't have to worry about going on the road because they know how to beat you in that situation, But I have to agree with Cesar when he says he doesn't agree with you on home court. Whether there's 2,500, 1,000, 10,000, no matter how many people are there, they will make enough noise. Like they will put every single person, as many people as they can in front of the goals to try and distract the other team. Home court advantage is a real thing, no matter how many people. There could be 10 people there, and they will still try to figure out a way to make somebody mess up. Like, home court is a real thing. That's why the bubble was so crazy last year. Like, there was no home court, and that's why you've seen the Trailblazers. They won the play-in game, went crazy in that first game against the Lakers, and everyone was like, oh, wait a minute. And then the Lakers were just like, nah, you can stop right there. Like, the teams that have home court right now in the West are the Jazz, the Suns, the Nuggets, and the Clippers. the Nuggets would love to have that home court. If they had home court last year against the Lakers, there's a chance maybe they win. You know, maybe if the Suns have home court advantage, they are like 20. I think Dorsberg said last night, like 23-9 against teams above 500. The Suns. This is another team like it's been 10 years since they've been in the playoffs. They get home court, their fans are going to go crazy. And that's going to play a huge factor in everything.
The Suns are a team to watch out for. So what do you guys think? So speaking of home court, because at some point the Clippers and Lakers are probably going to meet up.
Oof, they need
and it's technically a home game for both teams every game that they're going to play. That one's going to be tough, and I think Milwaukee in the East is going to need home court. And then the Celtics, because I do think we'll leapfrog the Knicks into fourth. Because we're going to need home court, too.
Celtics, y'all going to have to leapfrog the Knicks and the Hawks. Both teams, y'all got to leapfrog. Y'all ain't, come on, y'all ain't getting over them. You throwing your hand like y'all ain't getting over them, man. Julius Randle going to get on your life. Y'all try to get past them.
That's
the
closer than the West.
One, and we got to win, and the Celtics got to win.
The West East is a lot closer out that way.
I think any team in the East needs that fourth spot. I'm looking at the conferences right now. 1 through 3 are the only teams in the Eastern Conference with positive away records. Any team in the East needs that home court advantage. And I think Chase said earlier that the Sixers are doing good away. Are they doing bad at home? One of those. But the only reason they're doing that is because of injuries and COVID and protocols like that. Embiid and Simmons have missed a shit ton of games. But they need that home court too. A Philly home court playoff series, they haven't seen that in a while. Last time the closest they got was 4th and 5th, I think Boston, or second round, something like that. Boston got the upper hand because they had home court and eliminated them with Horford bitching out Embiid. But that home court is definitely important. I'm looking at these, and like the only team that that Battle of LA, that's what I want to see. That we didn't get that last year, and that's what I want to see. That's what the NBA needs. They need a Battle of LA, and they need a Brooklyn and Nets series. At today's game, that's what they need. That's what I'm excited for in the playoffs.
That Battle of LA in the first round, it's getting close over there for the Lakers. It's getting real close.
I think the Mavs. So for the Lakers and Clippers battle in the first round, either the Lakers need to go down or stay where they are. They need to stay at 6, and then we either need to go up to 3.
Have to go to 3
because the Nuggets are 3 right now.
Have to leave Denver.
Or we need to go to 4 and say the Lakers go to 5. You know, yeah. I think if the Mavs got home court, because the Mavs are very quiet right now. Like Luka is averaging like 28, 9 and 9, or 8 and 9. It's some crazy numbers no one's talking about. And I remember like beginning of the year, the Mavericks were like, wow, they are really bad. Like I remember the Knicks were doing good, and they were like, wow, they have the Mavericks pick this year. And look how bad the Mavericks are doing. They were at like 14th in the West, and now they're 5th. Mm-hmm. And I said this last year, the Mavericks probably should have beaten us in that first round.
If they have,
I know y'all remember, I literally said the Mavericks should have probably beaten us in the first round last year. If you sleep on the Mavericks and Luka Doncic, they could probably take it if they get home court as well.
Mavericks and the Lakers, after looking at their record, they're 36-27. If I was the Clippers, I would want the Lakers first. I know they're going to be a serious problem, but after struggling with the Mavericks last year and Luka's only getting better, I don't know who can hold that man in a 7-game series, truthfully. We'll see. But if I was the Clippers, I want that home against the Lakers, even though it's not really a home court first round. But that's what I would want. Speaking of the NBA, let's convert to video games. What do you guys all-time NBA 2K most underrated plays that you like to use? Trey, let's start off with you.
number one, I'll give anybody 80 points with Jamal Crawford, bro.
Oh my god.
Yo,
Jamal was glitchy.
Jamal
in
Crawford,
12.
glitchy as hell, bro. No matter what year it was, no matter how old Jamal Crawford got, I was always able to use him, and all of you can vouch. I know that because I've given Jamal Crawford buckets to all of you guys, so you know. That's probably my favorite underrated player. Jeremy, how about you?
Underrated in what sense would you say though, Cesar? Because it's like
As these are low overall players that will give someone buckets.
used to drop a lot of buckets with Leandro Barbosa on the 2015 Warriors.
You forgetting about Barbosa.
I used to drop mad buckets
He
on
was
you guys
mad
with him.
fast in 2K.
I used the reverse layups and the mid range game was crazy, and honestly, and Sean Livingston too. I gotta put two in there. They were both crazy off the bench.
Actually really liked Jeff Teague in 2K a lot. I used Jeff Teague quite a bit. And Monte Ellis was probably like the greatest like 83, 82 overall player that's like ever been in 2K. That man can really do everything in that game. It kind of sucks that he's not even a person anymore.
Yeah, not
People be forgetting.
They don't even have that man in the current 2K. Historic teams know nothing.
It's kind of dirty now I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You did used to use the fuck out of Monte Ellis. I remember that.
There's a lot of forgotten players. We're gonna have a nice little series on that coming up. I've been thinking about that. There's a lot of players that we grew up watching that people are like, who? What?
Pau.
Everyone forgets how good Pau Gasol was.
Nobody
Like,
talks
it's
about
crazy.
Manu either.
You know what I'm saying?
Ginobili,
Like people
nobody
tend to
talks
forget
about Ginobili.
about these underrated
Like-
players that were on championship teams. Is underrated.
No cap.
Like no one really fully paid
There's
attention.
songs about Ginobili.
There's one
People
song.
talk about Ginobili.
There's one
Bro,
song.
in almost every single rap song, people say I ball like Ginobili, like everybody, because he's
I
bald
know-
and he balls, and you know.
I know one song that the dude says, "Bitch, I ball like Kobe and Ginobili."
Yeah,
That's the only reference
I'll
I've heard
send
to
you some
Ginobili.
later.
I'd appreciate it.
Peja Stojakovic.
Another guy. People
Another
forgetting
great-
about
yeah,
Peja Stojakovic.
for sure.
Like there's a shit ton of players people be
Best
forgetting
three-point shooters
about.
of all time.
One of the best. No cap.
I think I gotta get two in there. You know, I got Phoenix Suns Gerald Green. I will give anybody 60 points with that man.
You love
Anybody.
that, dude.
And he's like a 73 overall. He's not even high.
That 2K. That
Yeah.
2K, you dunked a lot.
It was
Not bad.
2K16, I think. Yeah. And then Gerald Henderson.
Knew you were gonna
Anybody can get to work with him.
say that.
That's that. For me, that's my poor man's Vince Carter right there. Anybody can get to work with him.
It's crazy.
Those are
We
my
used to
top
play
two.
in Hall of Fame. He used to give us
Buckets.
buckets. None of us
Yo,
could guard him.
Gerald
Henderson is crazy good.
Playing in my Hall of Fame, it's like, all right, who's being screwed with this guy? You know?
I have to guard this man.
Niggas literally hated picking shooting guard because they didn't want to play against fucking Henderson, bro. That nigga was shiesty.
That guy was something else. And those are players that they don't have anymore either. Even though they were part of. Well, actually, I take it back. Gerald Henderson has never been on a good team. But, you know, I mean, it was part of the Bobcats.
He's like, actually,
Everybody but that. Scratch that. Scratch that guy.
Yeah, they need to put these teams on the new PS5 version of 2K. They need to put like just give us what we want. My team, I don't care. Put it on somewhere. I want what I want. But you know, speaking of PS5, I heard Genshin Impact is being promoted to PlayStation 5. That's big news right there. I see a lot of different games getting promoted to PlayStation 5, like Among Us. Among Us is coming soon to PlayStation. That's
The console?
crazy.
that's
Yeah,
epic.
it's a console.
It's already on like the Switch and shit. It's supposed to hit Xbox and PlayStation. Like I think it's this month or sometime next month.
We gotta get it.
Trey's been trying to ignore this day that he has to play Among Us, but
You haven't played Among Us, right?
You've never played Among Us?
No, and I'm
Bro,
not
it's so
trying
fun.
to.
Never
I don't
It is
want-
mad fun. I think Among Us is so fun.
Trey's like, oh, cutesy game. Stupid.
You play Fall Guys.
I played the fuck out of Fall Guys. I was nasty at Fall Guys. Don't even fuck with me.
I think these Among Us Genshin Impact, they're trying to bring to PlayStation 5 to revive the game. So how do you guys play Genshin Impact? How do you guys think that will do on PlayStation 5? Do you think it'll be better?
Crazy as it sounds, when I got my PlayStation 5 is when I stopped playing Genshin. So like, I don't know if it's because at first I didn't have enough space to download it, or I don't know. We kind of all stopped playing it.
Yeah, y'all stopped playing with me. So I stopped playing. Yeah.
The game kind of just died for me, anyways. I mean, I re-downloaded it today. I did. I re-downloaded the PlayStation 4 version on my PlayStation 5. I don't know what the difference is gonna be. It may be like 2K. You know how that is. Like 2K, PlayStation 4. You just literally switch a tab and you're loading up a whole different game. So I don't know how much different the PlayStation 5 version is gonna be. I'm not sure if it's gonna be like cross, like if I'll still be able to play with these guys, or if I'll just have to play with you on the PlayStation 5 version. Like so I don't know. I hope it's cross-platform so that we can play with them, so that if we do start playing again, we can all play together. But that's my take on it, really. You guys miss Genshin?
I mean, I will definitely. I want to see what it looks like on the PS5. I want to kind of see how it looks. I highly doubt it's gonna look that much different. But there was times like you load it into the world and it'd be kind of slow and shit would be delayed and it'll take like figures and characters and shit like that to kind of add to what is it like
the render and shit?
Yeah, like to render in the game. So I think that's gonna be less of a problem. But the game still gets like regular updates. Noelle got like a buff and she was like a super hot character to get. Like 2-3 weeks ago, she was like one of the best characters in the game to like try to get out of one of the packages. There's still like a shit ton of characters. Like I don't have Venti. Still, like I want Duluth. Like there's still a couple characters that I don't have. Like I'm just literally just looking at it now and like there are a shit ton of characters that I still don't have.
None of them are maxed. Like it's. I re-downloaded it for a reason today. You know what I mean? Like I want to get back into it. I want to play it again.
Yeah.
There's a reason I stopped playing that game. I'm too fucking powerful.
You got left in the dust.
I'm too powerful. I got Venti. I'm the strongest all the time. Like no matter what, I always win. I have to. I can get back on it. I actually still have the game downloaded. I seen an update for it like the other day. I'm thinking that the PS5 version is really gonna be like faster load times, like Lewis was saying. I think maybe better FPS. You know what I'm saying? Frames per second. You'd be able to see things a little bit better. Reaction time might be a little bit better, but I think it's gonna still be the same game. I don't think anybody has to really worry about the whether or not it's cross-platform, because like I think we can play with PC players as it is right now. I think so. Like I think that is how it is.
I don't know. So. That's why.
I think it's gonna be like DC, because when I was still on the PS3, I played DC with you guys when you guys were on the 4. The biggest issue with that was you guys would load up into the world like 5 minutes before me, because the rendering and shit like that was so bad. So I think probably shit like that, like you guys might have like a boss, like I already have a decent combo on a boss by the time he loads up in front of me.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like things like that. I don't know if it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be bad. I'm watching, like, looking at the gameplay, I do kind of miss playing the game. I'm definitely going to have to check it out. Because there's still, not even all my characters are maxed out yet. Like, there's a lot. It's like Warframe that we talked about a couple weeks ago. Like, there's a lot. Like, there's multiple weapons in the game, multiple power-ups. You can upgrade all your abilities. So, like, I have characters with, like, level 1 abilities, like, and then some of my characters are, like, 4 and 5. So, like, I do have characters that are stronger than other. And there's obviously more and more characters in the game. They just keep adding more and more characters.
I think it's definitely an interesting game. I've never got into it. I never played it with you guys. I just didn't download it. So, maybe with it's PS5 and you guys give out good reviews, maybe I'll try it out, see what happens. But we'll see. Yeah. The new version, new game. Speaking of new games, let's talk about Resident Evil Village coming out May 7th. So next week or this week. See how it goes. Any of you guys ever play Resident Evil?
Every single Resident Evil I played.
So many of them.
Don't test me.
I've played a lot of them.
I played all of them hoes, bro. Like, cause growing up, my uncle really liked those games. You know what I mean? He always had the system and whatnot. So like, I just played with him. But I think the way Resident Evil's going now, it's kind of going away from what we love about Resident Evil. You know what I'm saying? It feels like a different game now. Like, I think it's more VR. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like they're trying to make it scarier. Like they're actually trying to make it scary, and it's not like. Sorry to like totally interrupt, but like it's not like I'm trying to. It's not scary. Like the game isn't scary. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see the new, like, Resident Evil coming out and think it, like, oh my god, that's such a scary game, I don't want to get it. But I don't like the whole, like, first person and you're just, like, Resident Evil 7 I never even played. And I heard you never even left the house. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't, like the whole game was based off in that house that you were in, trying to get away from that old man and that old woman or whatever it is. It's like, they're not even zombies anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... They're taking a step away from what we know and love about Resident Evil. Like, it's...
I think, yeah, for sure. Resident Evil, I never played a single Resident Evil game. Because even though you say it's not scary and they try to make it scary, but that's always how I thought the game was. I thought it was a scary game where it's not really the story scares you or anything like that. It's more pop-up scares. So I thought that's why they have it first person. But yeah, for me, first person scary games just didn't sound entertaining to me. So I never really got into that into those series of games. So we'll see. What do you think, Lou? Resident Evil Village?
I like the series. Like I'm not one like you. I don't play it, but not because I always found the game like I've always watched Jeremy and Oogie play it. Like, but I've always found the game. I found that being a game that I would rather watch than play. Like, I could watch someone play Resident Evil because I don't really know what I'm doing a lot of the times. Like, I watched you beat Resident Evil a couple times, restart it and stuff like that. So I like the concept of the game. You know, they've had movies and stuff like that. Obviously, if anyone's seen the movies. I'm excited to probably watch the playthrough, to be honest. I am excited to watch the playthrough.
I get that. Some games you just like to watch more than play. Like Mortal Kombat story modes and stuff like that. Those type of games, I suck at them. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just go on, instead of buying the game, I'll just go on YouTube and look up the story mode, see what happens. But, you know, it kind of sucks to hear that since you guys played it, they're going away from the original story mode because that's what people want. They want that. And I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Resident Evil 5 was like peak Resident Evil. Like, once they got there, everything after that is kind of like chopped. You know what I'm saying? Like, they try to do like the same thing, but it just doesn't work out the way that it should. Resident Evil really is about like finding clues and trying to figure out how to get to the next spot where there is pop-up scares and shit like that. But like, you know, there's things that you are ready for. There's zombies that you do have to fight against. You know what I mean? And they had like a perfect combination in Resident Evil 5. Now I don't really recommend Resident Evil to anybody, but like I'm definitely gonna play this one. Like, I have to. As a Resident Evil fan, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah,
you know
literally. I never played 7, but I don't know. I'd probably get them both, honestly.
There'll probably be some sort of package or something at some
It has
point.
to be.
Yeah.
They always do some shit.
Oh yeah, they'll do a bundle.
I want some sort of bundle that's the whole fucking saga, bro. One through
That's
the
too
whole
many
thing.
games.
I don't want.
That's-
Dude, I played them all though. I
Yeah,
played
but
1, 2, 3.
Outbreak
I played
and
4.
like
I played 5, and then all of a sudden 6, 7. And then there's Village, and then there's like an add-on for 6, and then there's like a 7 part 2, and then dude,
Then 5 gold.
and then bro, just I need like the rest 5 and on. I haven't played, so I need like all now.
Not here.
I have no idea. Are they connected?
Not really. Like some things are like the same. You know what I'm like? You got like Wesker. Like Wesker's in a couple different ones. That everybody's like, oh shit, Wesker, gotta kill him. You know what I mean? But like, for the most part, they're all doing different shit at different times. Like,
It's a different story for like every game.
yeah, pretty much.
I thought, see, when I thought about it, I thought it was more like Assassin's Creed, where like in Assassin's Creed, the first like 4 games are they go about this one character, Ezio, and his grand ancestor, and they just play through that guy. And then as they go along, instead of focusing on this one character, they start focusing on the League of Assassins that they have, the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. And over time, they go to different time periods and just explain that moment and try to speak about the origins of that. So I thought that's the type of vibe I got off Resident Evil, where like they have the story mode, and then the other games just continue to like explain how things got to that. Because you mentioned zombies and stuff like that, like it gives me end of the world vibes types. So I thought the other games would be like flashbacks to introduce how this happened and how that happened. But it's interesting to hear your take on it.
Not really like that, but I can see why you would think that. Honestly,
Is Leon still alive?
Leon, yeah, I think so. Yeah, he is still alive. He's still just kicking zombies in the face and shit. That guy, he literally just kicks zombies. Like, he's been kicking zombies since fucking Resident Evil 1.
That was the dude from 5, right? He was like the main one in 5.
Nah, that was Chris
4?
Redfield. Yeah, he was from 4.
Yeah,
Leon's
yeah.
from 4.
Leon's from 4.
Well, he's
yeah,
in.
yeah.
He was like he was in 1 through 4, but
Yeah.
he was the main
character.
dude in 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched. It's more of a game because like there's a lot of shit like you gotta go find the merchant, you gotta go do this, you gotta find a lot of clues, so it kind of gets lost. It does get lost for me.
For me, I can't enjoy single players unless I'm heavily involved in the story mode. But I gotta get my interest first.
I think video games right now are doing a good job on anime games. Right now, there's a lot of anime games or a lot of animes that are becoming games.
Mm-hmm.
Like My Hero Academia. That's a really good game. Everybody plays that.
Yeah.
To be honest, like if you're an anime fan, you want to like get in the game and use the characters that like you watch. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to do the moves that you see on the TV show because that shit is just sick. And My Hero recently, actually the episodes have been great. Right now it's focusing on the it's pretty much like a training arc for Class A and Class B still. Like that's really what we're going through. And like if you're a manga reader like myself, then you know like what's coming next is gonna be like the darkness that comes over My Hero. You know what I mean? Like right now it's cool, it's fun. Everybody's doing what they have to do. They're fighting, training, getting stronger. They're going about their ambition. But like this next like thing that's about to happen to them, it's about to change the whole entire series.
It's like something's coming and you know it. Right now it's in a build-up stage, but something's coming soon.
Exactly. And as soon as it happens, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my god, this could be the best anime ever." You know what I mean? Like that's normally how it goes for anime. Like they take their little break during the season, and then boom, they come back just amazing, and everybody's like, "Oh, this one's the best one actually." I have a bad habit of doing that myself. I'm always saying the best anime is something else after I watch it again. I'm like, "Yep, this is number one." Lou, have you watched any of the My Hero episodes?
Yeah, I watched them both. Well, the first part to the second battle of Class A and B, and the second part. So I did see them both, and it's still a lot of the off-screen characters are getting a lot of character development. And I've been waiting for this specific episode to finally air so I can finally ask you, where do you think Momo is eventually going to rank in terms of like hero ability? Because for me, she is probably the greatest sidekick. If you can get her a solid hero, she is going to be by far the greatest sidekick ever. Because her quirk, her power is she can create anything from her body. She just sometimes needs a certain amount of time. In this episode, she gets a giant ass cannon out of her chest. She draws a big ass cannon out of her chest, and she does say like things like this do take time. And she drops off the care package that gets shot over the. So like she can create all types of things, support items and everything. Like it's kind of crazy. So if you pair her with a hero that can get the attention of someone, and you're not really paying attention to what she's doing, she's gonna have some crazy shit coming. And Todoroki was one of the ones that kind of stressed that you're smart, like you're way smarter, you're strategically great, like you can do this, like you got this. And I can see it because she did go in this episode. Like they finally gave her some more spotlight because she already had her moment in the last one.
I think that like because of what you said about what Todoroki was saying, like how she's smart and how she can do it, I think that actually means that she's gonna become her own hero. You know what I'm saying? I hear what you mean by a sidekick. That's smart. I like the way that you put it. I didn't think about it like that until you said it. But like I think that she's good enough to be her own hero because like her power is OP. Like you said, like she's able to create any non-living organism from her body. Like, bro, she could literally pull out an AK and the whole fucking clip and just lay everybody out. You know what I'm saying? Like she could do whatever. You know what I'm saying? That shit is actually pretty OP. So she like develops herself and like she gets to learn how to fight and all that bullshit that that heroes need. I think she could be her own hero. I don't really see her becoming a sidekick, but I definitely like your outlook on it.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of more of like, cause it does take her time to do certain shit. She would need somebody, but I could definitely see her leading her own agency. Like I can see it. Like she definitely has the ability.
Her developing her power would be something that like, when she's able to create things faster, because that's how every anime goes. Like once they train, everything that they can do, they do so much better now. You know what I mean? So
comes easier.
Yeah, she'll be able to do shit faster. Like she's gonna be snapping. And it's gonna be a whole entire bazooka and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
like something that takes her 5 or 10 seconds is gonna be instantaneous.
Yeah,
after
you know what I mean?
A little bit of training.
From this character you described, I'm getting Green Lantern vibes. You think of it, and boom.
Yeah, that's comparable.
Literally, something like that. Like it's
instead of coming out of
Just
a
not
ring,
a
it
ring.
comes out of her body.
Yeah.
for all that she got her ass whooped.
Yeah.
Even through all that, they let Class B get a clean sweep on these men's, and there was a lot of character development in that one too. I do like the way that they're developing characters.
Tokoyami.
Yeah.
Tokoyami got a lot of character development.
We were waiting for that. That was another one we was waiting for. He had to have his moment. He was training under the number 2. He's been with Hawks for 2 separate apprenticeships. Like, it was about time that he had his moment. Again, kind of crazy. He still got his ass. Well, not even his ass whooped, but like.
Well, like they lost. But
That was a crazy ass way to lose. Yeah, like it was a crazy way to lose.
Like, bro, that fungus or like mushroom. What was it?
It's mushrooms. Yeah,
like a mushroom,
she
bitch.
grows mushrooms. Like it's weird. It's such a weird thing.
She pretty much just choked this man to death while putting a mushroom in his throat. You know what I mean? Like spawning a mushroom like in your throat. Like you can't fight back. What are you gonna do?
But like they literally say like, oh you did. They tell her like, oh you did that, and she's like, well yeah, we were about to lose. Like I had to do it. Like if I didn't, we're gonna lose. So like it's kind of crazy because she can kill you. Like realistically, she can kill you. Like I really wouldn't know what you would do to counter a mushroom in your throat. Like I don't really know what you try to do. Like do you go in there and like?
Yeah,
like I don't know what you try to do with that. So like.
It's dangerous, man.
Yeah, she's weird. Like she gave me villain vibes. Like she gave me weird villain vibes, and I see what you're saying by it looks like the Fire Force, like she belongs in Fire Force.
Yeah, her eyes.
Yeah, like the eyes. It's like she has more of a Fire Force sketch than a My Hero.
Exactly.
Like she was drawn for that.
She came right out of a different anime.
Mm-hmm.
Do those animes have like the same creator or work with the same company or something like that? Or it's just art style?
Yeah, like it's literally like he's seen it and was like, you know what, that looks kind of cool. Like like some anime jars use comics for inspiration. You know what I'm saying? You might see like a Superman symbol in like an anime, but like you have to really pay attention. You know what I mean? And they leave little Easter eggs like that, which is pretty cool.
That's like All Might, like the main hero. He's basically Superman.
Yeah.
Without like he doesn't fly. Like he has a super strength, saves everybody. Like he's the hero of heroes. Like that's kind of where I feel like they basically drew most of
same
like
colors.
all. Yeah,
Same
like
colors.
red, blue, like same color scheme, like everything. Big, strong, bulky guy. Like that's kind of it, and it goes hand in hand. Like comics and anime really do. Like that's how it goes.
I don't know if you guys have seen this new anime that just dropped on Netflix called Yasuke. It's about a black samurai who, you know, pretty much what he's doing is like protecting this girl and bringing her somewhere to train because her power is needed in order to counterbalance the evil, which is the daimyo, or like I guess that's like a kind of like a king in Japan, I would say, like a daimyo, something like that. So, well, she's actually a female, so it's a queen. They pretty much like have to train the girl, get her to safety, and make sure she can train and beat the woman. So honestly, I've seen a lot of reviews about Yasuke. A lot of people didn't like it, and I think I understand why they didn't like it because there was a lot of things that go unexplained. Like you don't understand why the girl is where she is, or you don't.
So you finished all 6 episodes?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta finish 5 and 6.
Yeah,
I watched 1 through 4.
But it doesn't really explain like a lot of things that are happening. Some things just kind of happen and it's just in your face, and now you're like, okay, this is what's going on now. So like if you're a person who wants to watch anime and like you don't really care for the background story or like what's really happening, you just want to see something that looks cool, it's a beautiful anime. Mappa drawed it amazing. Black Samurai is honestly awesome, but I don't think the show is really about him.
No.
I was gonna say, do you think the reason, like, I understand that perspective, but do you think the way they can get it better, season 2, more episodes, or like they just need to build on it, or the story?
They need to build a story. Like the way it ended off though, it's like a happy ever after. Like you don't see anything coming after this. You know what I mean? Like they didn't give themselves like a
no cliffhangers, no potential season 2s.
Pretty much, they didn't give anybody anything to be like, oh, you know what? I can't wait for season 2 because I want to see this, that, or third. Like, nah, there's really none of that. But you watch it, and you know, if you like the art style, I think it just really looks good. It gives me Afro Samurai vibes, to be honest. I don't know if anybody's ever watched that, but it also gives me Attack on Titan vibes with the gore because it's really gory. Like this dude's slicing people in half, like dudes slice their own guts open and shit. Like there's just a bunch of blood and shit in that anime. So if you like that kind of, you know what I'm saying, category, that's another good anime for you.
Yeah, it's only 6 episodes, so it's like 30 minutes each. It's about under 3 hours. Like, you can watch it in 3 hours. It's not bad.
Yeah.
What I was hoping more of when I was reading it and anticipating it, I was hoping for more of a series, maybe kind of like Fire Force that has about 48 episodes. It'll do like I was hoping for some nice sample like that, but it is very fast paced. Like, things kind of just, and it's like, oh shit, like, where'd that come from? Who's that? Where'd this dude? Like, how is he doing that? Why is there power? Like, why are people using magical powers in the 1500s? And why is there a robot? Like, why is this happening? And what? And you really do get lost, even when you're paying attention, because they don't tell you a lot about the story. And then you get kind of random flashbacks to why Yasuke is where he is right now. But it's like, I was hoping more for the whole journey. I was hoping to see him get there, struggle, meet Nobunaga, and sort of watch him become the Black Samurai. And then, you know, if they wanted to continue and give us basically what they did, I felt like that should have been like the last season type shit. Like, I feel like it got clouded. It didn't really feel like it was about the Black Samurai. It really just felt about, like, the little girl. Like, this little girl has to save us.
Yeah.
So, like, I still have to finish the last 2 episodes. But I do agree. I do like the way it looks. Mappa did a really good job. If anyone... Mappa, Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan Season 4... Chainsaw Man, and Zombieland Saga. Like, so all of that was in, like, writing and production kind of all in, like, the very similar time. So I think that's one of the reasons why Yasuke kind of got put on, like, not a back burner, but is kind of the reason why it wasn't what a lot of people were anticipating, because the reviews are more bad than good. Like, a lot of people do complain in the reviews because it wasn't what they were expecting, but if they had a lot on their plate, you can't overlook some of it. I agree with you. I can overlook some of the stuff and I can still enjoy it. I still think I think it's really good. Truthfully, there's a lot of scenes in it. There's a lot of action.
Yeah, I enjoyed
there's a lot of with the magic and the robots and the demons and shapeshifts. That's anime. Like, that's what you get into when you read anime. Like, if you read a comic book or the Marvel movies and stuff like that, like, where are the people with powers? Like, it's kind of, anime goes with it. It goes hand in hand with that style.
Right.
Like, you can't really go without it. I enjoyed it. I'd give it like a 7. 7.5.
I could give it like a solid 7.
Yeah. I could do like 7, 7.5, something like that.
Just because the story really wasn't there, but the combat is really something to look forward to, honestly.
Has a lot of action.
So this new anime, Netflix, is it Netflix made, or like did they just, you know how they put like old seasons or whatever? So this is like a new show, right?
It's a brand new show. I haven't seen if it has a manga or anything like that for it, but like when you look up the Black Samurai, it's just you get the real, like, what he's based off of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see any manga comics or anything like that, but I see what he's really based off of. I like the fact that they take like the real Nobunaga out of history. Like, he really, like, this really did happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, this really was a black man who really grew up and was a samurai or started off being a servant. And they talk about that a lot in the show too. But like, yeah. I don't know really where it comes from, and that's why I feel like everybody's confused, because it's like, what, like, where did this come from? You know what I mean? But if, like I said, if you just want something visual.
That's why I asked, because I didn't hear anything about the show until Netflix was like, "Hey, this is on here now. Get excited, it's coming soon." But, you know, if Netflix is the one that made it, or like, you know, sponsored or whatever, it's gonna be interesting, because I don't really see a lot of like new anime being promoted by Netflix. So it's interesting to see them take that approach.
Some news out of New York. There was a couple things happening. DMX's funeral was intense. There was quite a bit of people there. The casket looked really cool. They officially announced December 18th, like, DMX Day in New York. Like, New York is celebrating him and his legacy, and it's really cool to see. And then Busta Rhymes, like, crowned Bobby Shmurda like the new king of New York. So that's kind of funny too. So like it had not a happy ending, but it was kind of an interesting turn of events.
I think that Bobby Shmurda being named the King of New York, I think it fits. It suits him. There's a couple people that you can say is the King of New York, and Bobby Shmurda is definitely one of them. He had such a big impact that he went to jail for years. He got out, and everybody's still like he's still relevant. You know what I'm saying? There's so many rappers
songs.
yeah, there's so many rappers that like, bro, they go to jail and like everybody's like, all right, you know, maybe when he comes out we'll think about it. But like, you know, like Bobby Shmurda, he was in there and everybody's like, free Bobby, like that. I still seen a free Bobby tweet every single year he was in jail. So you know what I mean? He's definitely someone that you can say is the King of New York if you want to go with that. I also think it's really cool that they did the DMX Day on December 18th. I don't know if they did that for Nipsey. I'm not trying to start anything, but like, did they do that for Nipsey? Does anybody know? Is there like a
I'm
Nipsey?
not sure. I was gonna look into it and I totally forgot. I didn't know why that specific day. I didn't know if it was his birthday or what the reason was. But
I don't really know what it is either. That made that day December 18th DMX Day, but I think it's cool that they did that for him.
yeah,
Cesar, what do you?
First of all, DMX Day, well deserved. Second of all, the King of New York statement, that's a pretty big statement right there. You know, there's still OGs around that, like, you know, when you think of New York, you think of that. Bobby Shmurda, he's been gone. Don't worry, the man's still relevant, but he's been gone for a long time. Like, the man's been behind cells. So, big title to give him. We'll see, you know, hopefully his new coming music that eventually is going to come, you know, we'll see what happens if he still has that title or not. But I don't know. For me, King of New York, that's a big title. I will get to some of the OGs like Jay-Z or Nas. That's why I would give that title to. But you know, everyone has their perspective on it.
what are you guys thinking of Kodak? Kind of got away pretty clean here. Just a couple months of probation.
That presidential pardon. Trump really helped them out with that. Nah, but like honestly, I'm somebody who strongly believes that jail isn't really for anybody. You know what I'm saying? And like, I like the fact that they're giving Kodak like a chance to prove himself, like 18-month probation. Like, yo, be good for this long at least, and we won't put you back in jail. You know what I mean? Like, at least, bro. But you know, just stay out. That's honestly a really, like, I don't know if he cut a deal or anything like that, but I think that's like probably the best sentence he was ever gonna get. They was offering him years just to give him 18 months of probation. You better thank the judge. You better throw him some money. Nah, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
I think he has to definitely be worried because you know cancel culture just started. He might be next on the list with all those charges that he got.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know why rappers struggled with probation sentences. Like I remember when Tekashi 6ix9ine, all he had to do was finish his GED. He didn't do that. Went right back to jail. So Kodak, be careful, bro, because cancel culture might sneak up on you if they, you know, something goes down. If you do some more dumb shit, we'll see. But he definitely got blessed,
Yeah,
at least.
Trey's on cancel Kodak wave, anyways.
I don't really like Kodak as a rapper, to be honest, but like I feel like that's what he was dealt was honestly like really cool. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot that's going on right now, like the whole George Floyd shit, the Breonna Taylor. You know what I'm saying? We don't really need more black people in prison and shit. So like, that's really cool that they let Kodak go, let him off, light tap on the wrist.
Little Baby having a nice feature with hometown kid Joyner. It's not his first time Joyner getting a major artist. He has Eminem, he did Chris Brown, now he got Lil Baby. He's been low key. Haven't heard too much about his music and stuff like that. He's been kind of in the shadows. But I enjoyed that song. I thought that was a really good song.
I enjoyed it too. I took a listen to it. I thought it was really good. And to add to Lewis's list, man even got Will Smith to hype him up and everything in the music video. You know, he's up there.
Yeah.
But I definitely enjoyed it. And you know, to quote previous podcasts, Lil Baby does not miss. Crazy. So you know, definitely a banger for sure. We'll see. We'll see what Joyner got next. How about you, Trey? What's your thoughts?
I knew that song was gonna be hot as soon as I seen the cover art. You know what I mean, bro? Honestly, like we said, Lil Baby does not miss, cannot miss, will not miss. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lil Baby has been doing the most, and he got Joyner Lucas, which is from our hometown. Like, I've always liked Joyner Lucas too because like you said, he has a bunch of major features, and he's never allowed himself to be outshined. You know what I'm saying? He had that whole beef going on with Tory Lanez, and they were going back and forth. That was honestly amazing, if you ask me. Like, they both were putting bars back on each other.
I
Like,
forgot that even happened.
exactly, that was a great beef. You know, like I still listen to those songs to this day. You know, like so, Joyner Lucas is honestly, he's doing a lot more than people give him credit for, and I feel like people gotta stop sleeping on him. Like he's one of those sleeper guys that I gotta talk about, like DDG. I talk about these guys like every week. You know what I mean? But like if you pay attention to those guys, they're gonna do like you're gonna see something special, like amazing out of everybody. I promise that.
Y'all talk about OJ and Ramen?
Yes.
Yeah, that song was.
We went to see Joyner in concert.
Yeah, we did. We went to the House of Blues. That shit was fire. Yeah, OJ and Ramen hits for sure. Lil Baby doesn't miss. I agree with Trey on that one.
Yeah, I mean, he's out here. He's still doing his thing. You know, small town. Well, not really small town, because honestly, Worcester's a pretty big town, but no one really thinks Worcester when you're around here. Like, that's not.
Yeah, like
we're
not really known for music or like, you know what I'm saying, anything important. So I like how Joyner is doing his thing and kind of putting us on the map. No matter how much people like want to hate on him or say whatever it is, I think he's doing good for us. You know what I mean?
I agree.
If people were smart, start making music now. You know what I mean? Like, cause there's every time like somebody comes out, you try to look at the city that they're from and you try to get more music from them. Like Atlanta will like boom and have like 15, 16 guys come out of there where you're like, yo, they're fire. Then Memphis. Same thing with Texas. Like maybe that could happen for Worcester. You know what I mean? Just everybody just gotta put the work in, try hard. You know, do what you gotta do. Like Joyner's not like, you know what I'm saying, something that's unattainable. You know, people like to hate on people and shit for like being somebody like he kind of acts like his shit doesn't stink. You know what I mean? But bro, made it out of Worcester, so like, you know, I think people should just follow suit instead of just, you know, throwing hate. OJ and Ramen, really good song. Everybody should put it on their playlist.
2 thumbs up. I agree with that one.
Officially recommended by the Real Guy Talk podcast.
Joyner, call me.
You already know. We're in Worcester, bro. We're close.
Get me on the feature.
If you even live here still.
He does. He does.
I think so.
He lives in Shrewsbury.
Yeah, he lives in Shrewsbury. Yeah.
He bangs on Park Ave, bro.
He's out here.
Yeah.
He's chilling.
Be around. I used to see him in the Auburn Mall.
He was there like last month. They was telling me he went to Sunglass Hut and spent a couple bands. They was telling me.
Sunglass Hut.
Yeah. They was telling me when I got there.
Probably
like,
the
Joyner
only
was
place
here
that
the other day. I
got
was like,
designer
what?
shit in
Can you just
Auburn.
go to the outlet? You know, like
Yeah,
Bourbon.
we gotta put that picture of you and Joyner.
I gotta find it. I gotta find the.
You gotta put
And
that.
I be
you gotta put
forgetting
that
that
on the
too.
podcast.
Like I met,
You gotta put that
I've
picture.
seen
I
Joyner
didn't know
outside of my school handing out CDs. I've
Nice,
seen
huh?
Joyner at work a couple times. Like I have, and then saw him in concert. So like I've seen it. I've seen you, fam. I see you. You're doing your fucking thing. I
That
respect
concert,
it.
That concert was lit.
Yeah.
When he did that music video in Kelly Square, I actually saw him that day too. I forgot about that. I was
He
driving
did the
to Kelly
whole
Square that day.
lakeside
Yeah,
thing
in the
with
music
all
video.
those people.
I am in the music video.
The man's hometown, and he's grinding in it. I respect it. A lot of rappers, once they make it out, they try to get out. But you know, respect it.
We're trying to make it out too podcast style, boy.
Yes, sir.
Like, comment, subscribe, talk about how pretty I am. Get it done.
Yeah.
Everything. He is the prettiest.
You know that.
Anyways, tune in next week. Gonna bring you guys some more great content. It's a pleasure having you guys. Take care.
Holla.
Comment, like, and share.
No, subscribe.
Oh, subscribe too while you're at it.
Never go back to the bottom.
Fuck it, suck it, put in a bucket.